to another BGC from Home video with yours truly, Miss Leah. Hello, everybody. All right, you guys, today is going to be a fun one. We are working towards the Originator badge. And in today's activity, it's all about finding your spark and discovering your passion. All you'll need is pencil, paper, phone, or your laptop. So let's get to it. In this activity, you'll explore what you're passionate about and what makes you happy, what you feel you're good at. It's helpful to know your personal passions so you can set life goals. All right, so let's take a few minutes to discuss the following questions. First one, what makes you happy? Really think about that one. Number two, what are you good at? Number three is, how would you spend your time if you had nothing else to do? What would you be doing? If you just had nothing going on, what would you do? So what I want you to do is think about the questions we just went over, and I want you to take some poster paper and I want you to write as many words or images, just get as creative as you can, that are related to something you're passionate about or just passions in general. But keep those questions in mind, okay? All right, let's do that. All right, you guys, so I just finished up writing down some words that for me reminded me of what passion means to me. And just to go over a few of them, just to give you some ideas, if you're still kind of contemplating on what you should write, I wrote reading, the mountains, dance, my family, writing, and just exploring. For me, that is what I am passionate about, all of those things. So that'll just give you a little help along the way. Let's take a few minutes and watch this video on how one high schooler with dyslexia discovers her passion.
I can remember the first time I realized something was wrong. I can remember the first time I was told I have dyslexia. I can remember being in first or second grade when my teacher pulled me off the hallway into a small classroom. She sat me down and she put 5 magnetic letters on the board. And she said, "Piper, read this to me. What do these 5 letters say?" And I looked at it, and I kept staring at it. And I said, "I'm not really sure what that says." She said, "Okay, that's okay, but that's your name." I remember this feeling like it happened this morning. I can assure you my face went beet red. I was beyond embarrassed that at that very moment, I couldn't even read my own name. I can remember in the following year when my mom picked me up from the house where I went for tutoring. The tutor came outside and said, "Mary Beth, I need you to work with Piper on sequencing. She's still not understanding what makes up a dollar. Here's 4 quarters, just sit her down and keep singing the dollar song." So as soon as we got home, we sat at the table and we said it together 4 or 5 times. 25, 50, 75, $1. And then it was my turn to repeat it back. 25, 50, Piper. 25, 50, 75, $1. Try again. 25, 50, Piper, it's just 4 things. 25, 50, 75, $1. I can remember how having dyslexia affected me from elementary school to middle school. I can remember being under the impression that I had to master certain aspects of school and overcome this. I thought it was the only way. From 1st grade to 8th grade, I was taken out of normal, regular classes to be taught in a different way. In 4th grade, I was told I wouldn't be able to take a foreign language. And in 6th grade, I was told it was essential to math my multiplication facts in order to continue. I did everything I could to try to graduate out of these programs they were putting me in. I knew I couldn't learn like the rest of you, but all I wanted to do was be in the normal, conventional classes with you. But as I sat there in my pink dress and flowered headband, I just didn't want to be different. I can remember fighting to get out of these classrooms. My parents helped me in every way they could to get me educated outside of the Capelsville school system. I was repeatedly IQ tested because my results didn't make sense. It would come back in superior excellence in numerous categories. It really just came down to the fact that my brain worked in completely different ways than others. Come 8th grade, I saw one final doctor for one final IQ test. And his only conclusion? Give the girl a calculator and a dictionary. After about a dozen meetings with my parents, teachers, instructional support advisors, and even the administration, I finally heard exactly what I wanted to hear. As long as you maintain your grades and advocate for yourself, you can graduate from the instructional support program. Even when I graduated, it's not like this all just went away. Every single day, I'm reminded that I still have dyslexia. For example, this summer, I worked on the food truck Mainly Burgers, being the cashier and taking people's burger orders. I spell onions, UNIONS. And it wasn't until about 3 weeks later that the boys finally started to say, Piper, did he want unions on that burger? Or Piper, did Mary order a large union ring or a small union ring? Sometimes I call my best friend Chelsea, ask her how to spell one word, and hang up. Spell check never knows what I'm trying to say. And my SAT scores. Those were fun. When the May SATs rolled around, I took them once with no prep, and my scores came back, and I got a 1350. I immediately called my mom, my dad, my brother, and cried to them about my 1350. Not one school I was looking into accepted scores remotely around a 1350. So for the second SATs, I did 2 hours of prep 3 times a week with a one-on-one tutor for a month. And my scores came back, and I got a 1350. 1350 was my destiny. And most recently, I was writing a letter to thank a college professor for meeting with me. Just about 4 or 5 sentences. I wrote them once on a sticky note, revised it. Wrote it again on a sticky note, revised it. Then I circled words that looked like they were misspelled and Google searched them. Then I wrote the letter in pencil on the card, wrote over it in pen. That was the process it took for just 4 to 5 sentences. I used to put so much time and energy in trying to overcome my dyslexia. But when I arrived at high school, enough was enough. I realized it wasn't going to be important for me to master things like my multiplication facts, my ability in a foreign language, and figuring out why I couldn't comprehend these books I was reading. What was important is that I found what I loved to do and strengthened what I enjoyed. I found so much enjoyment in working. I worked at my mom's furniture store, I babysat, and I even volunteered on the Capelsville ambulance. I found enjoyment in organizing events, helping to create one of the most memorable proms, and even help plan the event that you're sitting in right now. And most recently, I found that my creative brain is the one that suits me best. This past summer, I completed 250 hours of artwork at the Maine College of Art. And when I arrived for my senior year, I dropped math, science, and a foreign language. I found my passion, and at this very moment, I'm pursuing it. Next fall, I will be attending Savannah College of Art and Design, majoring in accessory design and minoring in business. My challenge for each of you today is to find what you love, find what you enjoy, and pursue it. Work hard, eat well, and fall in love with everything. Thank you.
That was a really awesome video. So now that we've watched the video, let's discuss a few questions. What stood out to you the most about this video? I'm listening. For me, what stood out the most, honestly, was that at her age, when the teacher asked her to come into the classroom and she couldn't even read her first name. I can't imagine the embarrassment that she must have felt, and especially because it wasn't something that she could help. So for me, that stood out the most. Another good question. How did this individual in the video find and discover her passion? Were you listening? All right. So for me, what I gathered just from watching it was that she really just tapped into like what she cared about, what she was passionate about, planning events, working and overcoming something that, you know, in some scenarios would enable you from growing into being a successful, adult, but it didn't. For her, it just fired her up to pursue what she was really good at and not let that obstacle keep her or hold her back. So that's what I found. All right, and now it's time to experience. So, using the Finding Your Spark interview questions, take turns with a partner interviewing each other. And make sure you use those questions on your handout as a guide. I printed mine off, but you don't have to print yours off. You can use yours right from the computer. Wait, you guys, I don't even have a partner today. What am I gonna do? I don't have a partner. Hi, Miss Leah. Ah! It's Allie, the alligator. Oh, man. Miss Allie, where have you been?
I've been in the swamp.
The swamp? You been swimming?
I've been swimming. Sunbathing.
Okay, Miss Allie. Well, since I got you here today, you want to do this interview with me?
Of course, Miss Leah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it, girl.
Handshake on it.
Handshake.
All right, Miss Allie, you ready for these questions?
Yes, Miss Leah.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Number 1. What is something you could teach someone else?
I can teach you how to fish.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Okay, write that down.
And I can teach you at home how to fish, too.
You could, Miss Allie. You're probably pretty good at it, I can imagine. All right, so what do you like best about yourself?
Well, I'll take it, Miss Leah. I like that I'm Sassy Allie. Hey!
Miss Allie is a trip. You are a sassy girl. You Attitude Allie.
Attitude Allie. Coming down your valley.
Oh my gosh. So, what is something you've done that you're proud of?
I'm proud to say I taught all the alligators how to be lazy.
Miss Allie! Oh my goodness. We do not want to teach the kids how to be lazy. Tell me something else that you've done
Okay.
that you're proud of.
I taught them how to catch a big fish and not how to get caught.
Oh, that's a good one. We don't want you getting caught.
No.
No. Okay. So, that's good. Okay, and how do you think your friends would best describe you?
This is a hard one, Miss Leah. Give me a minute to think.
Okay.
Let me go ask my friends. I'll be back.
Oh, okay. Miss Allie, but we're live.
Oh, okay.
All right. How do you think your friends would best describe you? Beautiful, talented, brave. I mean, all the things.
They would say I'm brave. Brave.
So brave?
Brave.
Okay, Miss Allie. Okay, brave. I got it. Whew. All right, last one, Miss Allie.
Okay.
What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to sunbathe.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, sunbathe it is. All right, I think we got our interview questions answered. Thank you, Miss Allie.
You're welcome, Miss Leah. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for joining me in today's activity. Make sure that you reflect on the topics that you explored today, and you can write down any important notes or questions or comments on that leadership journal. And make sure that you save and upload today's activity because it will earn you a star towards the originator badge, you guys. I had a lot of fun in today's activity. We even had a special guest from Miss Allie, and hopefully she'll be, okay, Miss Allie's back. Miss Allie, she's crazy. Don't worry, you guys will see Miss Allie again. But thank you again for joining. Make sure you save and upload, you guys. And until next time, just remember, great futures start here.